Background blur is a very popular effect in modern video editing because it helps focus attention on the subject while creating a cleaner and more cinematic look. It's commonly used in YouTube videos, interviews, tutorials, reels, and professional content. And with Adobe Premiere Pro, you can create background blur effects even if the original footage wasn't filmed with a blurry background. So in this full guide, I'll show you how to blur backgrounds in Premiere Pro step by step in 2026. First, open Adobe Premiere Pro and import the footage you want to edit. Now drag the video clip onto the timeline to create a sequence. To create the blur effect, duplicate the video clip and place the copied version above the original footage. Now open the Effects panel and search for Gaussian Blur or Camera Blur. Drag the blur effect onto the lower video layer to blur the background footage. To keep the subject sharp, use masking tools on the top layer around the person or object you want to focus on. Adjust the mask feather settings to soften the edges and create a more natural blend between the sharp subject and blurred background. If the subject moves during the clip, use mask tracking so the blur effect follows the movement automatically. Now increase or reduce the blur amount depending on how cinematic or subtle you want the background to appear. To improve the overall look, combine the blur effect with color correction and lighting adjustments. Before exporting, preview the clip carefully to make sure the masking and blur effect look smooth and natural. When everything looks polished, export the final project using your preferred quality settings. And honestly, subtle background blur usually looks more professional than extremely heavy blur effects. A natural-looking separation often creates the best cinematic results, and that's your full guide on how to blur backgrounds in Premiere Pro in 2026. Hopefully now you have a clear understanding of how to create cleaner and more cinematic-looking videos using Premiere Pro.